This week's discussion is about how liberties and freedoms changed with time. What did early freedoms and liberties look like, or what did they mean? How has it progressed and moved forward to what it means today? Bradley Pertzer explains that through his article in What Exactly is the West, that freedoms from the West formed through religion and that it was a way of fighting against the control of God kings. He explains that it was the love of wisdom and universal principles that helped form the foundations for the liberties and freedoms of today. In his book, Inventing Freedom, Hannon explains that freedoms were formed an allowance, and alliances were made based off of the same faith, language, and ideals. Hannon and Pertzer both argue that religion and ideals came to play when it came to early Western civilization and its contributions to freedoms and liberties. Through the years, as society and governments changed and the lessening grip on religion, we can see how ideals change and how more liberties and freedoms begin to form and take place. The New York Times wrote an article in 1913 expressing how Theodore Roosevelt took the stage to stand up for women's rights and during the women's suffrage movement. When the United States was first formed, women did not have freedoms or rights for property or to vote. They were to remain quiet. Even after the Civil War, when black men would earn the right to vote and gain their laws through the Constitution, women were still unable to be heard or have a voice. Ideals and customs were changing, and so was how people were thinking about women and religion. Years later, the Declaration of Human Rights would be signed by many nations worldwide. Although the Declaration is not law, it is a moral belief the nations agree upon on how humans should be treated no matter the race, gender, or the class. Although the world and the country still have a lot to change, we can see a progression. In the beginning, freedoms and liberties were ideals and a way of thinking. They weren't so many laws and all-inclusive as they are now. It was a way of life. Over the decades, as society changes and the world evolves, we see freedoms and liberties take a new definition and make itself come into law so that equalities become a part of liberties and freedoms. We have a model of what true freedoms looks like and something to progress towards. So freedom and liberty is no longer just an idea. It's no longer just about man. It's becoming all inclusive, and it's progressing every day, and we see it every day. And sometimes we have to look back at what it meant in the beginning and what has happened over time to fully appreciate what freedoms and liberties mean today and how we're enjoying it where we live at now, and what it means for the future of our children and people of family that comes after us and our nation. Thank you.